Hello, Deep Mindfulness Collective. This right here, right now, is the joy of being a live stream. Coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Great to see everybody. I'm telling someone I'm live right now. Okay, folks, lovely to be here. Hello, Dave. Welcome back. Great to see you. Good to see you. Glad that you're back. Today, I'm hoping to do something extra special. I'm hoping to outline. I had a really good planning sesh with a friend going through the progress of Insight and sort of getting into the details of what I want to do in the course itself. And I thought I'd do some diagrams today and sort of get into like the content side, conceptual content side, and then we would go from there. But first we're going to meditate. It's going to be really fun. I had a little bit of a breakthrough. It might have been on the stream or it might have been with the student. It was on the stream. So what I want to do is I want to, did I guide the meditation that yeah, I did guide that meditation. Let's see. Yeah, I guided a meditation. Okay, that was a long thing. Looking at my notes here. Emptiness meditation. Yes, we did this already. Emptiness of all objects in meditation. Yeah, emptiness folding back onto itself was like really fun. Okay, folks, welcome here. Nate, good morning. Currently Reagan Airport, Washington. Grateful for the miracle of flight. That's amazing. Yeah. Thanks, Nate, for kicking us off with our gratitude here. So this is, I was about to put my name in. I was like, what's my name? Like, I thought that was like the first part you do. Where you're at, not your name. Where you're at is Brooklyn. What am I grateful for? Heart healing, cha-ching. Folks, lovely to be here with you. I like how we can have difficult emotional experiences and our bodies and minds can heal on their own. Julia, joining us from Vienna, Austria. Grateful for having some energy this afternoon. Nick, oh my God, we have Nick back with us, folks. Our longest time subscriber, over 2 years of continuous subscription here. Nick, hello from the Karlstad office. Working late as usual these days, it seems. Grateful for seeing more people finally standing up against totalitarian regimes abusing their power. Totally. I'm with you, man. Nice. Okay. Let's see. What do we have on this planet Earth? We're going to meditate here for 25 minutes, and then we're going to chit-chat a little bit, have fun, hang out. And I wanted to do some diagrams, but as I was starting the stream, realized my Wacom pen is missing. That's one of those things. You got to have the pen if you want to use the Wacom tablet. It doesn't like work with your finger, does it? No. Okay. Give me 30 seconds here. Okay, folks, get ready to jump into meditation. Find that nice, comfortable position. I need to look at something. I think it fell right on the ground here. Welcome, everyone. We're about to meditate the crap out of this. We're going to meditate for 25 whole minutes. Now, if you've never meditated for that long, I have never lost one yet. Everyone has survived my meditation, so I would consider committing. How long am I going to stay for this meditation? Commit now. Or forever hold your pizza. Okay. Excuse me. I'm looking for a pen that dropped the other day, so I can use my Wacom tablet. I don't know if folks can notice, but the silence between when I'm speaking is more silent now. We did a little bit of a fix, and we fixed something. Ah, I found it. Okay. Okay. The pen. Will it work, though, is my question. Oh, it's working. Okay, it's amazing. Okay, it's upside down. So, folks, what that means is it's possible at the end, if people want to. If people don't want to, we don't have to. I will be able to do some drawings to illustrate some things. The pen literally fell again. To illustrate the map of awakening we're going to be using in our class, the upcoming course. If you don't know about the course, here's the link to the course. Sign up right now. Here, this is a big favor. Will someone else put the link in the chat? It's deepmindfulness.io/POS. Of course, the only thing we associate with POS is Progress of Shinsight, which is the course coming up. Folks, I want you to find that nice, comfortable position. And the first person to put it in the chat gets the meditation dedicated to them today. I'm going to have you meditate, or rather come into a position that you can hold, sustain for the entire duration of the sit. You're going to do this by sitting at the edge of whatever cushion or chair you're on, letting the knees be lower than the hips, letting there be a balance point from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Dave wins. Dave, you did it. Folks, right there is the link. You can see it on the screen. You can see it in the chat for the new course. Very excited. It's launching in just a few weeks. If you want to start your new year off with a course on experiential learning around the map of classical awakening. I'm not going to make any promises, but you could walk out of there, classically awakened. And we'll go from there. I know TMI. Is what it is. TMI kind of makes sense, though. It is pretty accurate, actually. TMI is the mind illuminated, but it's also known as too much information. So, all right, folks, find that nice, comfortable position. We're going to meditate coming any second now. Any requests for the meditation? Because I have some ideas about what we would do, but I see there's a few new people here. So if you have any requests, challenges, difficulties, interest, opportunities, curiosities, queries, comments, or concerns, hit me now and I'll make a meditation just for you. What people don't understand is there's thousands of meditation techniques, and then there's all these variations, etc. So we want to find ones that are really specific for what you need, for what you're looking for, and of course I can just make it my own, but whatever man, I don't care. But if you're new here, hit me with where you're at, what are you grateful for, and we're going to begin the meditation in a moment. And then after that, we're going to chit-chat like kitty cats. And if you want to, we'll talk right about awakening. Talk all about it. Julia says, and you might acquire the AF at a POS point of sale. Oh, point of sale. All right. Yeah. I would love to try manifestation meditation on Friday, made by you on Friday. Okay. It's funny. Manifestation is not something I do a lot of. I do different forms in the same family, but less exactly that. Nick says, stilling the mind using the siddhas. Okay, that's we can do that. Any other requests as we're jumping in here? We usually don't do requests on Monday. We do that on Friday, but hey, requests are pouring in. So what are you going to do? Let's see here. Any other requests as we are jumping in here? Anything at all? Okay. Okay, folks, find that nice, comfortable position, and we'll begin. And he says, got distracted the past month. Month in the power realms, just returning to basic mindfulness. Well, we can do better than basic. We can do some cool advanced mindfulness. We have options. We can do everything as sensing. We can do everything as cause and effect. Everything is nama-rupa. This is my new paradigm, basically, is that the level of development is the degree to which you experience everything as X, and X are the various insights. And that is that. So we can do any one of those. Beep, bop, 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 beep. What would be fun? Cause and effects less fun. Namarupa is kind of fun. I don't know, guys. I'm at a little bit of a loss. I feel like there's all these new folks here, and I want to do something really fun. Okay, so we're going to meditate for 25 minutes. I think we're going to do some. We're going to do a little meditation on the way that the mind produces mental imagery, the way it imagines reality. It's imagining reality into existence right now. That's not some mystical BS. The mind is holding reality into pieces as we're speaking. And then we'll do a little bit on some awareness practice, just opening up to awareness in that way. Okay, folks, so find that comfortable position that you can maintain. I'm going to encourage you to be in complete stillness. Excuse me. Here we go. I'm going to encourage you to be in complete stillness for the duration of the sit. And when you're ready, it's a real comical day today. Everything's hitting the floor. Okay, when you're ready, we'll begin. Last time I'll mention this is, the meditation is 25 minutes long. It's fine if you can't stay for all of it, but decide now. Don't let the decision be something you're kind of toying with during the meditation. It's better to decide beforehand. And we will begin. Beginning by either allowing the eyes to rest on a single point that's not a screen and not text, or allowing the eyes to close. Taking a few comfortable deep breaths, just feeling the body rise and fall. Each time we begin a meditation, we begin with the momentum of all of the previous moments. That's what this moment is. It's built out of all of this past momentum, all the decisions we've made in the past. And so by deciding in this moment to attend to these sensations specifically, we are not only deepening our experience of this particular moment, we are writing a future in which we are more likely to be present. And if we can't feel free in this particular moment, the likelihood that we'll feel free in the future is very low. So letting go of attending to anything, I'm going to describe various parts of the body and have you sweep through to relax these areas. But before we do that, I'd like you to begin by opening awareness. Open awareness to everything you can experience in this moment. Notice if the mind can take in the totality, or if it just jumps from thing to thing, from thought to object to sensation. The goal is to see if we can hold it all together. Just open to the lantern aspect of the mind that shines in all directions. And see if we can keep that spacious, open awareness. And as I mentioned, different parts of the body to relax, see if we can have contact with those parts from that larger perspective. So holding the totality and simply starting by relaxing the top of the head, the forehead, and the eyes. The muscles behind the eyes. Relaxing the face, the back of the tongue, so much so that it falls back in the throat. Letting the jaw go slack, no need to hold it closed, and letting this relaxation bleed into the neck, into the shoulders, into the arms, and eventually tuning into the sensations of the hands. Of course, the hands have more nerve endings than many other parts of the body, so letting that high definition sensation be known within this overall experiencing, so the mind is open and spacious, and we're also attending to the detail of the sensations of the hands. We're not going to control the breath throughout this process. We're going to let the body breathe as it will, but just for one moment, take one nice deep inhale and feel the natural tightening and relaxing of the upper chest and upper back as the breath comes and goes. And this tightening and relaxing is there even if we're just breathing normally, so breathing normally and relaxing the belly, the lower back, the hips, the upper legs, knees and calves, and relaxing the feet. And as you allow the mind to now rest in the overall experience, taking in the totality of everything, we're slowly training ourselves to learn to recognize and rest in this awareness. So we're going to use a phrase each time we notice this overall experiencing. In the mind, we're going to say, of course. When you come in contact with this open awareness that can simply take in whatever comes in contact with it, in the mind, you'll say, of course. And we never say a label in the mind without meaning it. So this isn't just some words we say. We want to take on that perspective. When we contact that open awareness, we mean, of course, recognizing that this is nature. Letting it feel like a revelation, of course, of course. And, of course, at times the mind will be distracted. This is also nature. But because we're resting the mind in the overall experiencing, the larger set of data, distraction will come in the form of small pieces of data. So Suddenly the mind will be drawn to the sensations of the left hand, or a specific thought or distracting sound. And so it's our job to welcome whatever part the mind is drawn to back to the whole. So any time we're distracted by any detail, any specific, the term we'll use is welcome. Welcome. In this way, welcoming what we would normally call as distraction, welcoming it to the overall experiencing, welcoming it to awareness. So our world has been divided into awareness, of course. And any parts or pieces of our experience, we simply say welcome. Beginning to recognize that this totality, this whole awareness itself is deeply welcoming. Doesn't need anything to be different. Welcome, of course. And of course, there are simple experiences that are easy to welcome to the totality. Sights, sounds, body sensations are usually relatively easy, unless they're painful. But sometimes we forget about more subtle objects, like the self, me, the observer. Some part of us wants this meditation to go well. So of course that's just a part of us. Some part of us has an assessment, this meditation is going terribly or it's going wonderfully. So what do we say to these parts? Welcome. Of course. So at this stage we can't make a mistake. Our world is welcome. And of course. If we feel judgment or shame, annoyance, joy, happiness, tranquility, welcome. If we can detect any of those in the larger context of all of our experience, seeing them as just movements within nature, of course. And so this practice works on simple things like sensations in the body, sounds, more layered things like our opinions and assessments, simply welcoming these parts and pieces to the overall. And even more complex experiences like the various selves within us, what we call me. Perhaps the meditator, a sense of progress and growth, the goals of meditation, all of these are just pieces of the totality. Notice for a moment that awareness, this large, spacious, welcoming field, it doesn't need us to be someone. It doesn't have a to-do list. It doesn't know how to be late. Much of our pain as humans is some part of us is driven to do something, be good, be loved, say the right thing, and it feels if it does that thing just right, it'll finally be free. That we simply say welcome and introduce it to this field that needs none of that. Doesn't deny the part, doesn't say it's bad for wanting. It understands it's simply part of nature, of course. And for a moment, let's let go of any meditation, any technique, any need to pay attention or be aware. For a moment, let's simply be a pile of human flesh and bone. Whatever happens in the mind is nature. Whatever is experienced in the body is nature. Letting go of any need to do. At this moment, there's no need. Parts of us may try to do, thinking that doing will help us in some way. Meditating, understanding, experiencing recognize that these are simply drives within us, not a problem, just parts of a whole. So once again, picking up the practice with as little efforting as possible. The less efforting we apply, the more nuance we can experience. Perhaps our course is more of a feeling. Or a whispered label. No need to reach out. And our welcome is less something that we are doing and more simply noticing the nature of awareness. It's not us that's doing the welcoming, it's our nature. And much of our lives are spent living within a self or selves, unconscious of the whole, the totality, moving through a narrative we imagine to be not only real but deeply important, the most important. In this moment, recognizing that we'll soon be engaging in the world in what we refer to as our ordinary way. Let's see if in this moment, this particular moment, you can allow in what we call our ordinary self, me. The one we usually switch back online when the meditation bell rings. And to that part of us, that skillful manager of our affairs, we say, welcome. Of course, taking a moment to soak into the splendor and beauty of all of these parts. The impossible unlikelihood of being able to observe the nature of nature. The near impossibility of even being alive. as we experience this world as part of an unbroken chain of life, all the way back to the beginning of life itself. Not only are we an expression of that very force, but observe the nearly magical, or perhaps magical, nature of perception itself, and its ability to take in anything and everything that comes in its path. To experience this body, this mind, this story of self. This emotional narrative we so often identify with. Even space and time can all be touched by this consciousness. Welcome. And in this way, allowing this particular moment to be the great teacher that shows us how we might bring this practice into every aspect of our life. Okay, folks, allow yourself to stretch. I saw someone on Twitter, of all places, and their name was Full Body Prayer. Yes, that was cool. Thought it was a good name. That was a very fun meditation for me. I feel like I feel like it's like something I do fairly regularly, but I just feel like I want to just end every meditation with just like, holy shit. And this is very weird and very unlikely and very powerful and awe-inspiring, just the like existing quality, because I feel like we just like exist and do our thing, and like I gotta get this and I gotta get, it's like, Christmas is coming, I gotta get the thing, and it's like the scale of like I gotta get the thing, and we've all experienced it. We've gotten the thing, you know what I mean? I have like one of the things right here. I'm always like, I gotta get the thing, and then we get the thing and we're like, oh yeah, I have the thing now. I mean, it's cool. Yeah, it's like, and it doesn't fulfill the thing, but we can, that thing that we're like, oh my God, it'd be so great if we were just like, oh, like full of joy and awe, and it'd be so awesome. That promise that all these gadgets and objects have experiences. I'm going to have this great experience. I'm going to go on vacation. We can have that thing now. We can have that experience now. And it's not just like we can have it now, like go ahead, go have the experience. It's important to remember that it's a trainable skill. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big deal. It's a trainable skill. We can train ourselves to be just fully awe-inspired. That's powerful. I want that. I'm not fully awe-inspired all the time, but I'm way, way more than I ever had been. So that's what I encourage everyone to consider as a possibility. Lovely, lovely. Okay, folks, in a perfectly equanimous way, yeah. I had a really fun time. So let me, folks, okay, hit me with those digits, write it out. What's your experience like? And also, you can also chat if you want to chat. I wish more people would chat. I'm just going to say it outright. Wish people would. I don't want to pressure anybody. We got a couple of really supportive chatters. Oh, P.S. Dave is here. The thing I just said just before, like a second ago, that's a good clip. We should keep that, the awe-inspiring one, because I feel very inspired. Let's see here. Let's jump into our chat. Let's all jump in here if you want. It's good to hear your voices. Oops, I hit a button. Okay, I'm live now on our Discord. If you want to jump over there, we can hear your voice, and then you can ask questions, give reports. But for now, listen, I'm going to tell you categorically your experience. If you like, oh, I liked my experience today, you want to amplify that considerably, write down what occurred. The moments of the highest clarity, what was the experience like? It was like X, Y, or Z. Put it into words. Doing that translation emphasizes the experience pretty considerably. So do that shit. Can you swear on this platform? I can't remember if they have like bots in here or whatever, an algorithm that catches swears and gets you in trouble. I'm probably way far away from being big enough that would matter. Okay, folks, hit me in the Discord if you want to chat, and then otherwise hit me with those questions and comments. Right now I'm going to quickly see if I can set up, what is this? Mini tool wizard. No, I don't want to partition anything. Is this the thing? Paint. Is Paint the app that I like to use? I guess it's fine. Okay. Let's jump into oh, good. Okay. I just want a section of screen too. I guess I could really blow it up. There we go. Oh, couldn't I just full screen this mother flipper? Let's full screen. Very nice. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do Q&A. We're gonna do whatever, and then I'm excited. We're gonna do some drawings. But until then, we're gonna stay here. Beep up bop boo beep. Exaltibur says, you are as far away from trouble as possible. Far away from trouble? Wait, did I say something about trouble? See, you guys, you gotta understand. My mind is I'm like a bumblebee. I'm like, wait, what did I say? Did I say something? That's probably a great joke. Exalted just probably made a great joke. And now I've missed it. Okay, Dave's here with us. I'm going to pull you in here, Dave. Okay. Dave, hit me. Tell me when you are here, and I'll listen to your report, your meditation report.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Welcome.
So I've been doing this practice for some time now, and the more I do it, the more I identify with awareness. And
Great.
The question I'm asking, like, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been wondering, like, it feels like I'm between awareness and parts.
Great.
Like
Yeah.
a watcher.
Yeah, okay, great. So what you want to do is recognize that watcher is just another part. So at first we're like in this like little realm. Should I just do this with drawings? I want to get used to doing the drawings. I'm going to see where is this one? Oh, we got tons of reports here. Thanks, folks, for your reports. I really appreciate the reports popping in left and right here. I don't know if we can read them now, but we'll see. Okay, I just want to get used to doing the drawings. Okay, where is this thing? Okay, can I see it on my own screen? Hold on. Just want to make sure that we're going here. Getting technicals in place. Okay. And then if I expand that, I open this, and I blah, blah, blah. What happens? But I lost the chat. Where's the chat here, folks? I don't see the chat. Whatever. I don't need it for now. Okay, I'll see it if it pops up on the screen. Okay. So now let's see if I can just draw. Okay. So we start out, and we're sort of in this like unconscious little bubble. And then we kind of... Wait, do I want to use the model in this direction? Okay, I'm going to do this model for now, and that's just how it's going to be. We are here. Okay, there. Okay, so we start out in sort of, this is most people just unconscious living, just like bopping around, like I've got to like fight somebody about Fox News or like whatever, just like kind of unconscious. Then we start to realize, okay, maybe I'm not my thoughts. Like maybe I'm not my emotional narrative, the sort of me that I think that I am, right? Maybe I'm not a point in time and space, right? This is kind of what you're describing here. This is like the watcher. And then maybe what I actually, am is this like last layer of duality. And eventually there's this sort of breakdown of identity and the inside, the sense of identity and the totality of all kind of breaks down. This is like, yeah, often the meditator mind is somewhere, it's one, it can be any one of these, it could be from this perspective or this perspective, but it's somewhere in there. It is a part. So often what happens is the what's it called, we have a sense that we are the meditator, and the meditator is like observing and like the meditation only goes as big as the observer, and it's scary to go past that because we can't see it. It's like from the understanding conceptual range, we can't observe that. Okay, why can't I see anything? There it is.
Those parts, can they change? Like in meditation, you are identified as that part, and
Yes.
after meditation, oh, I see.
100%.
So even after breakout as well?
Yeah, a breakout, you mean like stream entry? Like the first level of classical awakening?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's called stream entry. Yeah, absolutely. So all that really happens in stream entry is we see that process much, much more clearly. The process of coming in and out of selves, the process of identification, these things doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And especially early in awakening stuff, it can be actually more startling because we just see ourselves go into a self, become that self, and then act in a way we're like, whoa, like, why did I snap at that person? We just see it and we're like, oh, that's not good. Whereas in the past, maybe we would snap at the person and it would just be like, oh, whatever, they deserved it. And we just kind of try to move on and stuff it down. Now we can see it. And so it's not necessarily like more pleasant. It's like suddenly we just have a lot more data to like deal with or look at. So I got to remember to stop the recording. I'm always recording. I have these guided meditations now that are like an hour and a half long because I forgot to hit stop. So the point of it is that here's the key to get out of the observer trap, is to recognize that the observer, you can do this now. It's always better to do it now than like to think about what I'm saying. Notice that you can take in a certain amount of data right now. You're like, okay, I can take in this data. But it often feels like there's an edge. Like, okay, I can take in this amount, and there's sort of a bubble of data, and I get it, I understand it. And the same part that's taking that in, you can check, like, does it understand the meditation and the instructions and where we are? And yeah, it understands, I understand, I get it. And the part that gets it is like our intellect. It's the meta systemic part that puts all the pieces together and compares this tradition to that tradition and all these different things. So we want to recognize that there is something past that. Now, whenever we're stuck inside of a layer or a self or something like that, we can either let awareness sort of be there, and we can then sort of fall into the experience of awareness, which is by its nature a non-self experience. Or if we're stuck and we feel like I'm inside of a thing and there's a center and there's a me, it's not bad. That's nature too, but that's when we do something that would look sort of like prayer. We're like in the center and we're going outwards towards something bigger than ourselves that we can't have contact with directly because at that moment we're separate from it, which is fine. That's actually a perfectly valid way of connecting. That's what prayer traditions have done for years. I feel like a self, I'm going to reach out to something that is bigger than me. Now, my technical hack is just to be sure that you are doing that in all directions. I know that seems like a small detail, but if you're going to pray, if you feel like there's a me and I'm trying to reach out to something that I can't have contact with, this awareness that I don't know directly, make sure you're doing it in all directions, because it tends to just pull the self apart more easily than if you're like trying to go in one direction. One direction. This is not the band. It would be funny if somehow One Direction fit into this discussion. If we're praying or meditating in one direction, it tends to fortify a self. It's me doing this thing and just sort of going back and forth, zapping the self. In all directions, the center breaks down. We can't keep a center if we're going in all directions. So that's the hack that I usually encourage people to do if they're sort of self-centered, so to speak. Does that make sense?
So look for bigger self and in all directions.
What I would say is don't look for a bigger self, because that's just going to fortify the same thing. Look at what you can't. It's like it's unknown. It's unknowable. that part of the mind that's looking cannot know it. So there's a degree of surrender and sort of faith, right? This is why a lot of these same terms come into place. It's like it's assuming that there is something that's out there that we can't even have contact with and we can't touch, and it's not physical and it's not us. And there's a way in which we're just there's a reaching outwards to what is not there. It's past the edge. It's something that's not there. And over time we realize, oh, that's the same thing as the awareness when I really let go, and the awareness is just this sort of soft floating bubble. It's like, oh, it's the same thing, but at this moment I'm in the middle of it and I feel separate from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that intention that's try to like break out is as well part.
Say it again, that intention.
Intention like to see, to break out of self is like the thing you should be aware of, or like just notice it.
Well, that's a really good point, is that even the intention to get out of it is a great part. That might be another really great way to break through, is to say, oh, there's the intention, the desire for deliverance. I see that, and to allow that to be part of the whole. When we train ourselves to see parts, which all our objects are parts, and then let them into the whole over and over and over again, we're just training the mind to move to awareness over and over. So I hope that helps. Hope that clarifies.
Yeah, thank you for advice. So as well as awareness is also a part. Everything is part.
At later stages, awareness is like, it ends up being this thin, super gossamer layer, and awareness itself is, you just turn back to that, recognize that as part, and it starts to just, all the words start to break down, like time and space start to break down, the sense of a meditator, the sense of all this stuff starts to break down, because when awareness turns back on itself, it's just its own mechanics like break into its own nature, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So what do you think with this practice, can you reach stream mentor?
Oh, sure. That's for sure.
I like this practice a lot. So
yeah,
thank you for this.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to bump you, and then if anyone else wants to chat, come on in. And then I want to hear these reports. Andy, says the following.
The meditation overall was good. I noticed my vision started to become very psychedelic type of vibe, so I just said, welcome, and of course, and it just felt like a massage.
Nice.
I'll be honest, lately my meditation sit and non-meditation has been pretty much the same experience.
Good.
The only difference is when I close my eyes I feel a pressure on my forehead, around the third eye area. Lately the five senses and thoughts feel like a massage. But my overall mood and state of being is just very awake.
Excellent. Lovely. Good times, man. I'm glad you're having a good time. I want to hear reports. I want to hear how it's going, and hopefully we can be helpful. Hopefully we can help along with that process. I gotta go. You said I'll watch the stream when I'm done. All right, Andy, watching on the replay. Great to see you. If anyone wants to see the replays ever, they're all on youtube.com/deepmindfulness2, the number 2. And that's it. Exalted says,
you were talking about swearing and asked if it's gonna get you in trouble. It was a reply to that.
Oh yeah, okay, thank you so much. Thanks for clarifying. I know that bigger streamers have to worry about that stuff. Okay, Nick says,
distracted by work, but that was a very interesting one. Will repeat for sure. A bit like an elaborate, eloquent do-nothing meditation made precisely for the modern ADD mind.
Okay.
Felt like I've got a grasp on a few of the more subtle tendencies of the need to always be doing.
Nice. Excellent. Good. Yeah, the always doing mind, always doing self. It is like it's hard to recognize the doing vibe, the doing drive. Okay, so wait, I'm going to say this again clearly. I'm also trying, Dave and I are working on making clips. So I'm trying to be like, okay, how could this be a little complete package? So we'll see if I can do that without overthinking it. We often don't realize that the part of us that's trying to get things done is just a part of us. And that part is like, I got to get this, I got to get that. And it's so desperate. We never check in to see, is that making me feel better? And there's this sense of I have to always be doing. And it's hard for people to slow that down or to even lessen that. So just to see that as part of nature. It's not a bad part, it's just part of nature. And it's its nature to do and do and do. But to step out of the stream of that needing for something to be done, needing for something to move forward, that is one level of very deep freedom. So hopefully that helps. How was that for a package, you guys? Is that good? Am I doing it right? Nick then goes on to say,
yeah, still always getting snagged in observer and intellectual mode. If there's massive resistance to doing nothing, is that an indicator that it's a good idea to do it? Question mark. At least to get out of the intellectual stuff by not giving the mind an excuse to sneak in and help out with the practice.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to practice. It's definitely a good skill to develop, is the non-doing. Now you got to remember that when we really get into non-doing, all language breaks down. It's not like, okay, I'm going to do non-doing. When you look at the sort of instruction for a meditation that's a non-doing meditation, the instructions are always just probabilities. So you're sitting there, it's like, well, the mind might be distracted, or it might not. The mind might be open and spacious and aware, or it might not. The mind might be desirous of things, and it might not. The mind might be doing, and it might not. And that's one of these things that's a little bit hard for people to recognize, is that, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to not do for a minute. Okay, let's really get this not doing thing down. There's so much doing in it. Even, my favorite teacher, Shinsight Young, his instructions, which are a great beginning, he says, if you notice the intention to control attention, drop that intention. That is so many layers of doing. If we were to turn it into a probabilistic instruction, we would say sometimes the mind will want to control your attention. Sometimes it won't. Don't try to stop it. Don't try to engage in it. Don't try to not engage in it. And it just ends up being this thing where you're like, I don't know what else there is for me to do here. And what can be interesting, if we're entering into a non-doing practice, is to recognize that there's a lot of our experience can feel like it needs us to do a thing. I need you to do this. You've got to move forward. Like we wake up in the morning, there's like a need. I got to go. I got to do all these things. And we think that drive is just all there is. And taking a moment in meditation to actually just either do just the practice, simplify, or to not do anything, which is not that common in meditation. Most meditations have a fair amount of doing, but sometimes, in this moment right now, right, take a moment. There's no need for you to be anyone. There's no need even to understand the words I'm saying. Maybe you understand them, maybe you don't. Recognizing that there's always this pressure on us, or maybe not recognizing. There's always this pressure to do and to be and to have and to and go. And it's grinding. God, get totally ground down. So to recognize that there are moments when we don't have to do that. We can, but we don't have to. And that can be extremely relieving. So hopefully that's helpful. Awesome. Okay, wait, I have to really watch the clock these days. I have a bunch of appointments that are coming up like exactly at noon, and usually I can just go really crazy here. Beep up, bop, boop, boop, beep. Okay, I have a couple more seconds. Okay, I do have to get off though pretty soon. Wait, who's that? Oh, that's that happening. Okay, great. Any other questions, comments, queries, quandaries, curiosities, or concerns? Let me jump, see if anyone's waiting on Discord. Nope, I don't see anyone there. Okay, folks, lovely, as always, to be with you. Today was such a delight indeed. Wait. I had planned on doing this whole thing about progressive insight. Okay, I'm going to do a short version because oops, that's not the way I wanted to be. I wanted to be this one. Okay, I'm going to do a short version of this. This is some of the stuff that I came up with yesterday. It was really fun. I had a friend over and we really dug into the progressive insight and all the stuff that I'm going to be doing in the class. And so, okay, let me just start busting out some diagrams here. Okay, where are we? Can I see this? Okay, great. So what I thought about as far as development, hello, it's not writing. Okay, what is development? I can't write here very well. Oh, this is not good. If I can't write, it's not good. Okay, this is dev for development. Okay, what does it mean to actually grow in meditation? Okay, if there are certain experiences, development equals, we have certain experiences. So in any particular experience, we're going to have these 4 layers, right? We're going to have 1, contact. We first find it. 2, we have familiarity. Oh my God. Okay, I'm getting there, folks. 3, we have abiding. And then 4, we're going to have what I call DNA. Okay, this is where it is in our DNA. This is who it becomes who we are. This is our nature. We cannot perceive without it, right? So every insight that you have, people usually have a little bit of 1 and 2, and they'll say, okay, I think I've totally gotten this. So Dave mentioned, okay, I've got some like contact, some familiarity with the inside of whole part, right? The inside of, we could talk about whole and then part, right? These are all little parts within that whole. And so there's some familiarity, and now it's starting to be a place where Dave was talking about is somewhere between these two, somewhere between familiarity. Okay, I'm familiar with this. It feels a little bit like maybe I can contact it pretty regularly, to abiding, which is, it's more like a home. Some place that we can consistently come to and visit, right? And then eventually we stay in that home for long enough and it just becomes part of who we are. Now, the thing is that every insight is like this. So this is, I can't go back any further. I can't erase anymore. Okay, fine. And I can't switch to white, huh? And I've yet to figure out this program. So I haven't figured out how to make the eraser bigger. So this is pretty silly. So this is a total mess. I can do Control All and then delete. And I can't even delete. Oh, but I can do this. Ha ha ha. Just move everything along. Okay. Okay, great. So that's the general premise, is that we are, now I want it back. Oops. How do I get this stuff back? Nope, I can't even move. Okay. Okay, I got to get a better program, folks. So the point of it all is that that's how all development works. Then the general, also the premise that came after that, is this idea that there's, basically the DNA side. When we talk about DNA, it's easier if I can look on this side. Brush. Is this brush? Yeah. So when we talk about DNA and something's in our DNA, we mean it's nothing but X. So, oops, the N is missing. So let's put a little N here. Okay, nothing but. The DNA side is everything is that thing in our experience. So in the Progress of Shinsight course, what we're talking about is putting certain experiences into our DNA. This is going to be a much larger bracket than this. Those experiences are first TNT, this, not this, concentration practice, whole part, which is what we did today. Then we get into all these sort of more detailed things. See, hear, feel. All experiences, sensing. What I'd say is that, yeah, all experiences, sensing. We get into all our experience is cause and effect. Each sense is being triggered by another sense. One thing is popping over to the other, pushing the next, pushing the next. This is when we talk about the momentum of experience. That's what we're talking about. Then we'd say everything is nama rupa, meaning everything is a process. Everything is a verb. Everything is a flow experience. We go into non-self, which is that the way I'm looking at it here is that nama rupa is everything. Everything is process. Every part equals process, okay? Then if we go into non-self, we're actually saying that every part, capital P, every part, every self is process. If someone was just like, okay, just one insight, just grind on this for the next 6 years, I would say right here. This idea that first, every part, every particle is just a process. It's just something coming and going, created by the mind. Where's my cursor? Every part is a process, and then every part of us, every human part, every self is a process. Then we have arising and passing, which actually, in my version, equals new and gone. We're watching things as they appear and as they disappear, as an insight itself. And then equanimity. And equanimity equals, it's the nature of the whole. So actually, we're right back at the beginning. Oops, that's a terrible arrow. Let's make that a proper arrow. There we go. We're right back at the beginning. So part of the premise is that we are learning these tools from the beginning all the way at the end. So hopefully that was fun. Folks, and this is where I go back and check the numbers, who's left on the stream, and it's like, how many people are left? That's what I want to know. Folks, great to be here. Super fun. I lost the chat. How come the chat is not showing? Show me the chat. It's like usually on the side of the... Oh, here it is. I lost it. There we go. Lovely explanation. Thank you, Dave. I knew you'd like it. Folks, great to be here with you as always. Let's get back to our normal view here. Super fun. That's a bit of an explanation. It goes further, but I feel like at this point we've like dwindled. If people want to hear more, we can go further. We can go deeper. The other side of this, let me see. Oh, no, I lost everything. Okay. I'll just explain it. So the other side of this is that for each of those insights that are like, our usual, classic insights around, non-self, etc., there is a parallel nurture positive practice, a thing we can do in the world, an action we can take that will enact those same insights in their relationship to the world. So I wrote those down as well, which is what we're doing for the course itself. For this, not this, and whole part, the practice we did today is actually what I want to use as meditation for that. So kind awareness and the of course and welcome practice. What we did today is the nurture positive for the very first level of the sort of awakening process. The second level, which is that all we experience is sensing, that's going to be a life practice. So practicing on the vividness and the beauty of just being alive itself. What's it called? Cause and effect is going to be the nurture positive practice for that is IFS part 1, which is basically that we have these different parts within us, that we have different selves that are sort of pushing and pulling. They exist. They are causing, different aspects of our experience. Nama Rupa, that everything is a process, we're going to look at our internal experience and see that these things are interacting with each other. There's a lot of internal tensions that are sort of arising within those. When we look at non-self, wait a minute. I didn't put one for non-self yet. Wait, what is the nurture positive practice for non-self? Did I have that somewhere? Okay, I'm missing one. What would be the best practice for non-self if it was based on, if we're trying to do a nurture positive practice? I think it's going to be around emptiness of these different parts and introducing them to kind awareness. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be around healing the parts related to kind awareness. Yeah, that's what it'll be. Arising and passing. We're going to be looking, this is one of my favorite practices. We haven't actually done this here because it's usually good if you do it in life. But you look at anything visually pleasant that you like and you notice the emotion in your body. So you just look at anything, you can do it now, like anything that's pleasant at all. Like, oh, I'm looking at the screen right now and I'm seeing these little like emojis on my screen. I'll put an emoji up here. So I find this pleasant, just like little things. Oh, look at, they're bright, and just like noticing, oh, those are bright, those are nice, I like those, and then checking in with the body. What's the emotional experience in the body at that point? They disappear, poof, what's that experience like? And then part 3 is going to be dark night experiences, looking at parts, is looking at conflicts between the parts and trying to heal those parts. And then equanimity is going to be around abiding in, resting in kind awareness, recognizing it as our home. And so this is all part one. The other news is that Progressive Shinsight is now the course on awakening is now a 2-part course. There's part one, which we're doing, and then there's part two, which is the deeper side, which is diving in even deeper. So that's coming soon. Level 1, level 2 is our new model for that, because it was just too much, just packing so much into that one course. It was diminishing returns. So folks, hopefully that wackadoodle explanation was fun and interesting, exciting for everyone. Lovely to have you here with us. Feel free, if you're new here, follow our asses, hit that follow button. If you want to find out more, you can watch all the replays on our videos. We just put out a new video which we on explaining the course. That is on our YouTube channel, which is the second link here. No? You don't like that? There we go. There's our link. Second channel there is our YouTube channel. And that is that channel is where you'll find our new video we just put out this morning. Hopefully you like that. Amuse Dave says, what's better, being rich, having best connections, best friends, best wife, or being enlightened for one day? What I'd say is more than all of those is living as close to our values as we can possibly live. So we could have all of those and still actually be kind of miserable. I think there are some people who have stream entry and are actually pretty, and I've experienced that, where I've had like really tremendous pain in deep awakening experience. And I think part of what that is a lack of connection with my values. So what I would say is all of those, the happiness there is really dependent on our values, and awakening is helpful to help us move towards our values. Folks, great to see you as always. Super fun, good times. Let's listen to this outro music. Folks, really nice to be here with you as always. Fun for the whole family. Let's hang out soon. I'm going to be back here in fewer than 48 hours. That was very jumbled. Fewer than 48 hours to meditate with you again. As always, folks, practice well, take care of each other, have fun, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.